My mom invited the whole family to her 60th birthday, but she didn't invite me or my 4-year-old. Later, she posted on Facebook, "All my kids made me proud except the single mother. I didn't cause any drama." A few weeks later, I went to my parents' house. When my mom saw me walk in with my new boyfriend, the color drained from her face because he was. The notification buzzed on my phone while I was making Emma breakfast. A Facebook tag. My mom's birthday photo album. I tapped it without thinking, and there they all were. My sisters, Diane and Rachel, raising champagne glasses. My brother Tyler with his arm around Mom. Even Uncle Gerald, the one nobody really likes. Everyone was there, except me and my 4-year-old daughter. But it was the caption that made my hands start shaking. "Every one of my kids makes me proud, except the single mother who can't get her life together." 847 people saw it. Old coworkers, high school friends, people I hadn't talked to in years. Can you imagine your own mother posting something like that? I sat on the couch and cried while Emma watched cartoons. She glanced at me with those big brown eyes and asked, "Mommy, why are you sad?" What could I even say? That her grandma thinks we're not good enough. Yes, I got pregnant at 23. Yes, Emma's dad left before she was born. Yes, I dropped out of nursing school. But I work 2 jobs. I pay my bills. And my daughter is the kindest, sweetest kid you'll ever meet. Still, to my mother, I was just the family disappointment. My sisters never stood up for me. Diane was busy being perfect with her lawyer husband. Rachel was focused on planning some over-the-top wedding. Tyler just followed whatever Mom said. The only person on my side was Grandma Ruth, my mom's own mother. She saw the post and texted me right away, "I'm furious. Come visit this weekend." Was I wrong for being this hurt? For weeks I barely got through the days. I smiled for Emma, played princesses, cooked dinner, but inside I felt shattered. I didn't make a public scene. I didn't comment or call my mom screaming. What would that change? Then something happened that I never saw coming. I met James at the coffee shop where I work evening shifts. He came in one night and ordered this overly complicated espresso drink, then smiled at me. Not the polite customer service smile, an actual one. After that, he kept coming back. We started talking. James owned a commercial real estate business. He was successful, sure, but what stood out more was how kind he was. He asked about Emma. He really listened. He never made me feel less than. When I finally told him about the Facebook post and how I'd been left out, his expression changed. "Sarah," he said, gently taking my hand, "your mother is wrong about you, and I think it's time she understands that." At the time, I didn't fully know what he meant. 3 months later, we were officially together. Emma adored him. They built blanket forts, watched movies, and laughed for hours. He treated her like she mattered, like she was important. That's when an idea started forming. My dad's birthday was coming up. A big dinner at my parents' house. The entire family was invited. Obviously, I was. But then Grandma Ruth called me. "Your mother's been asking about you," she said. "She wanted to know if you're seeing anyone." She sounded concerned. Concerned, sure. That night, James looked at me and said, "Do you want to make an entrance they'll never forget?" I spent days debating whether this was childish or petty. But every time I remembered those words, "except this single mother," the anger came rushing back. When the day finally arrived, I dressed Emma in her cute little blue dress. I chose something simple but nice for myself. James wore a suit. We pulled up in his Mercedes, and through the window I could see the party already in full swing. My heart was racing. "You sure about this?" James asked. I looked back at Emma, happily swinging her legs, completely unaware. Then I thought about all the times my mother had made me feel invisible and worthless. "I'm sure." I opened the door and walked in. The room went completely quiet. Conversation stopped mid-sentence. My mother stood by the fireplace with a wine glass. When she saw me, her face shifted through several emotions. Then her eyes landed on James. Tall, confident, obviously successful James. She went pale. "Sarah," she said nervously, "I didn't know you were coming." "Hi, Mom." "Happy birthday, Dad." My father hugged me and then knelt to greet Emma, but my mother couldn't stop staring at James. I introduced him calmly. This is my boyfriend, James. He shook their hands, polite and charming. Nice to meet you. Sarah S. told me a lot about you. I could see my mother recalculating everything. My outfit, James's watch, the way he carried himself. My sisters froze. Tyler nearly spit out his beer. Then just like that, my mother flipped the switch. All smiles. Oh, Sarah, we're so happy you're here. Come in. As if the Facebook post never existed. As if she'd never called me a disappointment. She paraded James around, bragged about his job, and suddenly announced how she'd always known I'd end up with someone successful. I wanted to scream, but I didn't, because she didn't know it yet, but her fake kindness was already useless. I wasn't about to let her use me or James for whatever she thought she could gain. What happened next showed me exactly how far my mother would go when she thought there was something to gain. Dinner was unbearable. She placed James right beside her, treating him like the guest of honor, even though it was my dad's birthday. She kept touching his arm, laughing too hard, firing questions about his business, his properties, his future plans. I sat a few seats away with Emma on my lap, watching the whole act. Diane leaned over and whispered, "So, where did you meet him?" Her raised eyebrows said everything. In her mind, she was already calculating it. Successful businessman, coffee shop waitress. I wondered if I should call her out right then. My mother, meanwhile, was in full overdrive. James, you must visit our lake house this summer. We host very exclusive family gatherings. I nearly laughed. The same lake house I hadn't been invited to in 3 years. Then she turned to me, voice suddenly sweet. Sarah, we should spend more time together. I've missed you and Emma so much. James stayed calm. That's kind of you, Patricia. Sarah did mention she wasn't invited to your birthday a few months ago. I was surprised. The table went silent. My mother's smile stiffened. Oh, that was just a misunderstanding. These things happen. A misunderstanding, I repeated. From the end of the table, Grandma Ruth spoke up. Patricia, we all saw the Facebook post. Let's not rewrite the past. My mother's face faltered, but only for a moment. Sarah, that was taken out of context, my mother said quickly. I was upset about something else. You know I didn't mean it. I actually don't, I replied softly. I don't know that at all. Emma squeezed my hand, sensing the tension. What would you have done in that moment? The rest of dinner was painfully awkward. My mother kept pushing the conversation toward safe, neutral topics, but everyone knew the truth was already out. Later, she cornered me in the hallway. I don't appreciate you embarrassing me in front of your boyfriend, she said, like he was just temporary. I embarrassed you. I couldn't believe it. You posted online that I was a disappointment. You left me and Emma out of your birthday. Now that I'm with someone successful, you suddenly want to act like a happy family. That's not fair. I'm your mother. I've always wanted what's best for you. No, I said. You wanted what looked best for you. There's a difference. She was about to argue when Tyler walked up asking about dessert. She shot me one last look and walked away. Grandma Ruth found me a moment later. I'm proud of you, sweetheart. You stood up for yourself. I don't know if I did the right thing. You did, and that young man, he's good for you. In the weeks that followed, things got strange. My mother started calling nonstop, leaving voicemails about family dinners, asking to see Emma, suggesting shopping trips we'd never actually had. She sent James a Facebook friend request, then a LinkedIn invite. It was so obvious it was almost funny. The final straw came when she called to plan a family barbecue and insisted James had to come, along with any business contacts he wanted to bring. Great for him to network with our circle, she said, like she was doing him a favor. Mom, I said slowly, do you actually want time with me and Emma, or do you just want access to my boyfriend's connections? Silence. Because if it's the second one, you can stop calling. Sarah Louise. I don't know where this attitude is coming from. It's coming from the fact that you didn't care about fixing anything until you thought there was something in it for you. She gasped. How dare you, after everything I've done for you? Like what? I asked. Name one thing you've done for me in the last 4 years. She couldn't, not one. I hung up. Did I go too far? Later, James found me on the couch staring at my phone. She called again, didn't she? He asked gently. I nodded. "There's something you should know," he said. "Your mother called my office yesterday. She spoke to my assistant about possible investment opportunities and mentioned she was your mother, like that guaranteed I'd talk to her." I felt sick. "James, I'm so sorry. This isn't your fault," he said, "but we need real boundaries." He was right. My mother wasn't going to stop. She smelled opportunity and kept pushing. What she didn't know was that I had a plan of my own, and if she thought she could use my relationship for her benefit, she was wrong. 2 weeks later, I got a call from Diane. "Sarah, we need to talk. Can you meet me for coffee?" That alone told me something big was coming. I met her at a Starbucks near her office. She was already there, nervously stirring her latte. "What's going on?" I asked. She glanced around like someone might overhear. "It's about Mom and James." My stomach dropped. "What about them?" "She's been asking me questions about his company, what properties he owns, who his clients are. She even asked if my husband could accidentally run into him at the courthouse." I stared at her. "You're kidding." "I wish, and there's more." She hesitated. "She's been telling people at church that you and James are basically engaged, that he's buying you a house, that Emma's going to private school." None of it was true. We hadn't even been together that long. "Why are you telling me this?" I asked. "Because it's wrong," Diane said quietly. "What she did at her birthday was wrong. The Facebook post was wrong. And now this. She's using you, Sarah. I should have said something sooner." She paused. "I know we're not close, but watching Mom lately, it's embarrassing." She even called James's office. "I know," I said. "He told me." "Rachel's wedding is in 3 weeks," Diane added. "Mom expects you and James to come. She already put him at the head table." "The head table," I said. "He's never even met Rachel." "I know. I just needed you to understand what you're walking into." I left that coffee feeling dizzy. When I got home, I had a text from an unknown number. "Hi Sarah, this is Natalie Chin from the Downtown Business Journal. Your mother gave me your number. I'd love to interview you and James about his charitable work with single mothers." She said I had an inspiring story. I read the message 3 times. Charitable Foundation. I called James right away. "Do you have some charity for single mothers I don't know about?" "What? No, why?" I told him about the text. There was a long pause. Then he said, "Sarah, this has gone too far." That night after Emma was asleep, James came over and we sat at my kitchen table. "I think we need distance," he said gently, "from your family. Stop going to events. Your mother isn't going to change." Part of me knew he was right. Another part still hurt. "What if we do something else?" I said slowly. "Like what?" "What if we give her exactly what she wants?" He looked confused. I explained. "She wants to use us to look good, to make connections. So what if we show up to Rachel's wedding, play the perfect couple, let her show you off, and then I tell the truth, publicly?" "At your sister's wedding?" he asked. "Not a fight, just a toast. About family, about what really matters, about love not being tied to money or success." "That could blow up," he said. "I know, but I'm done staying quiet." He thought for a moment, then smiled. "I'm in, but Grandma Ruth needs to be part of this." I called Grandma Ruth that night. She paused, then burst out laughing. "Oh, sweetheart, your mother is going to lose her mind." I wouldn't miss this for anything. The next 3 weeks were tense. My mother called nonstop, asking what James would wear, if he needed a +1 for the rehearsal dinner, and whether he'd sit with her friends. I played along, said yes to everything, acted thankful. Rachel called once, clearly stressed. "Sarah, I don't want any drama at my wedding." "There won't be," I promised, and I meant it. I wasn't planning a scene, just the truth. Then 2 days before the wedding, something unexpected happened. My dad called. "Sarah," he said, his voice off, "can you come over alone? Your mother doesn't know I'm calling." My heart started racing. "Dad, what's wrong?" "Just come, there's something you need to hear." I drove over that afternoon. Mom's car wasn't there. Dad said she was at the salon. We sat in the living room where I grew up, the same place where I'd told them I was pregnant, and watched my mother shut down. "What's going on?" I asked. He looked exhausted. "Your mother and I have been having problems since before her birthday. She's become obsessed with image and status. It's getting worse." "The Facebook post," I said. I didn't know she'd do that, he replied. When I saw it, we had a huge fight. I told her to delete it and apologize. She refused. Said you needed tough love. He looked at me sadly. But your life is together, Sarah. You're a great mother. I should have told you that years ago. Tears welled up. Why didn't you? Because I was weak, he admitted. I let your mother control everything. I'm sorry. We cried together for the first time in years. Then he said something that made my stomach drop. Sarah, your mother is planning something at the wedding. I overheard her on the phone.